Chapter 1st is preliminary. Section 1st, short title, extent and commencement. This act may be called the Code of Criminal Procedure 1973. It extends to the whole of India, provided that the provisions of this code, other than those relating to chapters 8, 10 and 11 thereof, shall not apply a. to the state of Nagaland, b. to the tribal areas. But the concerned state governments may by notification apply such provisions or any of them to the whole or part of the state of Nagaland or such tribal areas as the case may be, with such supplemental, incidental or consequential modifications as may be specified in the notification. Explanation: in this section, tribal areas means the territories which immediately before the 21st day of January 1972 were included in the tribal areas of Assam as referred to in paragraph 20 of the 6th schedule to the Constitution of India, other than those within the local limits of municipality of Shillong. It shall come into force on the first day of April 1974. Friends, before the removal of Article 370A from the state of Jammu and Kashmir, this act was not applicable to the state of Jammu and Kashmir. But now it is so applicable as to any other state in India. Now, second, definitions. In this section, we are going to study various definitions provided in CRPC. A. Bailable offense means an offense which is shown as bailable in the first schedule or which is made bailable by any other law for the time being in force, and non-bailable offense means any other offense. Friends, here you must understand that in case of bailable offense, an accused should be granted bail as a right, and in non-bailable offense, an accused should be granted bail as per the discretion of the court. Now, B. Charge includes any head of charge when the charge contains more heads than one. Usually, friends, charge includes specification of offenses for which accused is being tried. Now, C. Cognizable offense means an offense for which an cognizable case means a case in which a police officer may, in accordance with the first schedule or under any other law for the time being in force, arrest without warrant. D. Complaint means any allegation made orally or in writing to a magistrate with a view to his taking action under this code that some person, whether known or unknown, has committed an offense but does not include a police report. Explanation: a report made by a police officer in a case which discloses after investigation the commission of a non-cognizable offense shall be deemed to be a complaint, and the police officer by whom such report is made shall be deemed to be the complainant. E. High Court means in relation to any state, the High Court for that state. in relation to a union territory to which the jurisdiction of the High Court for a state has been extended by law, that High Court. In relation to any other union territory, the highest court of criminal appeal for that territory other than Supreme Court of India. F. India means the territories to which this code extends. G. Inquiry means every inquiry other than a trial conducted under this code by a magistrate or court. H. Investigation includes all the proceedings under this code for the collection of evidence conducted by the police officer or by any person other than a magistrate who is authorized by a magistrate in this behalf. I. Judicial proceeding includes any proceeding in the course of which evidence is or may be legally taken on oath. J. Local jurisdiction in relation to a court or magistrate means the local area within which the court or magistrate may exercise all or any of its or his powers under this code, and such local area may comprise the whole of the state or any part of the state as the state government may by notification specify. K. Metropolitan area means the area declared or deemed to be declared under section 8 to be a metropolitan area. L. Non-cognizable offense means an offense for which an non-cognizable case means a case in which a police officer has no authority to arrest without warrant. M. Notification means a notification published in the official gazette. N. Offense means any act or omission made punishable by any law for the time being in force and includes any act in respect of which a complaint may be made under section 20 of the Cattle Trespass Act 1871. O. Officer in charge of a police station includes when the officer in charge of the police station is absent from the station house or unable from illness or other cause to perform his duties, the police officer present at the station house, who is next in rank to such officer and is above the rank of constable, or when the state government so directs any other police officer so present. P. Place includes a house, building, tent, vehicle and vessel. Q. Pleader when used with reference to any proceeding in any court means a person authorized by or under any law for the time being in force to practice in such court and includes any other person appointed with the permission of the court to act in such proceedings. R. Police report means a report forwarded by a police officer to a magistrate under subsection 2 of section 173. S. Police station means any post or place declared generally or specially by the state government to be a police station and includes any local area specified by the state government in this behalf. F. Prescribed means prescribed by rules made under this code. U. Public prosecutor means any person appointed under section 24 and includes any person acting under the directions of a public prosecutor. V. Subdivision means a subdivision of a district. W. Summons case means a case relating to an offense and not being a warrant case. Friends, summons cases are tried generally, summarily. WA. Victim means a person who has suffered any loss or injury caused by reason of the act or omission for which the accused person has been charged, and the expression victim includes his or her guardian or legal heir. X. Warrant case means a case relating to an offense punishable with death, imprisonment for life, or imprisonment for a term exceeding 2 years. And the last one, Y. Words and expressions used herein and not defined but defined in the Indian Penal Code have the meanings respectively assigned to them in that code. Now, Section 3. Construction of references. In this code, A. Any reference without any qualifying words to a magistrate shall be construed unless the context otherwise requires 1. In relation to an area outside a metropolitan area as a reference to a judicial magistrate. 2. In relation to a metropolitan area as a reference to a metropolitan magistrate. B. Any reference to a magistrate of the second class shall, in relation to an area outside a metropolitan area, be construed as a reference to a judicial magistrate of the second class, and in relation to a metropolitan area as a reference to a metropolitan magistrate. C. Any reference to a magistrate of first class shall 1. In relation to a metropolitan area be construed as a reference to a metropolitan magistrate exercising jurisdiction in that area. Second, in relation to any other area be construed as a reference to a judicial magistrate of the first class exercising jurisdiction in that area. D. Any reference to the chief judicial magistrate shall, in relation to a metropolitan area, be construed as a reference to the chief metropolitan magistrate exercising jurisdiction in that area. Second, in this code, unless the context otherwise requires, any reference to the court of judicial magistrate shall, in relation to a metropolitan area, be construed as a reference to the court of the metropolitan magistrate for that area. 3. Unless the context otherwise requires, any reference in any enactment passed before the commencement of this code, A. to a magistrate of the first class shall be construed as a reference to a judicial magistrate of the first class. B. To a magistrate of a second class or of the third class shall be construed as a reference to judicial magistrate of the second class. C. To a presidency magistrate or chief presidency magistrate shall be construed as a reference respectively to a metropolitan magistrate or the chief metropolitan magistrate. D. To any area which is included in a metropolitan area as a reference to such metropolitan area, and any reference to a magistrate of the first class or of the second class in relation to such area shall be construed as a reference to the Metropolitan Magistrate exercising jurisdiction in such area. 4. Where, under any law other than this code, the functions exercisable by a magistrate relate to matters A. which involve the appreciation or shifting of evidence or the formulation of any decision which exposes any person to any punishment or penalty or detention in custody pending investigation, inquiry, or trial, or would have the effect of sending him for trial before any court, they shall, subject to the provisions of this code, be exercisable by a judicial magistrate. Or B. which are administrative or executive in nature, such as the granting of a license, the suspension or cancellation of a license, sanctioning a prosecution or withdrawing from prosecution, they shall, subject as aforesaid, be exercisable by an executive magistrate. Now, Section 4. Trial of offences under the Indian Penal Code and other laws. 1. All offences under the Indian Penal Code shall be investigated, inquired into, tried, and otherwise dealt with according to the provisions hereinafter contained. 2. All offences under any other law shall be investigated, inquired into, tried, and otherwise dealt with according to the same provisions, but subject to any enactment for the time being in force, regulating the manner or place of investigating, inquiring into, trying, or otherwise dealing with such offense. Section 5. Saving. Nothing contained in this code shall, in the absence of a specific provision to the contrary, affect any special or local law for the time being in force, or any special jurisdiction or power conferred, or any special form of procedure prescribed by any other law for the time being in force. Friends, here our first chapter has been completed. You can ask me your queries in the comments section, and don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe. Thanks a lot.